Today's episode of Toxic Couch TV is brought to you by Heinrich's Harmony. Heinrich's Harmony offers private piano, guitar, and voice lessons rooted in a Christ-centered approach to music education. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced musician, you'll find lessons that help you grow in skill and faith. Learn more or sign up today at stepstograce.com and scroll to Heinrich's Harmony, where faith and music come together in perfect harmony.
That's the smoothest one yet.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Toxic Couch in the negative 40-degree weather that we've got here. Colton, how are you today? Are you staying warm?
Yeah, coming to you live from the middle of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we're in desperate times because trees are exploding and the ground is freezing that it's causing earthquakes. I haven't left the house today, and I don't plan on it, if I'm being honest with you. I went outside to turn on my car, and that was it.
I should have turned on my car. I probably will after we run this show. I went out earlier to fill up my bird feeders. That's about it.
Nice.
You guys don't know how serious I take that stuff. Anyway,
Bird feeding, love it.
Yeah, we don't even have to talk Colts and Pack this week if we don't want to. We don't really have. Neither of them played.
Neither of them played, but they did have a presence that, how do you say, both of our teams did have stories to go along with them this week, I suppose. Right, because obviously Hafley's gone, so that's really sad for the Packers. Really, really sad. Let's see, what else? What happened on the Colts side of things? There was that big story. I'll let you preface that.
Yeah, so the FBI is currently investigating the death of Jim Irsay. If you remember last year when he died, he was under the influence of a lot of different medications. And now the FBI is looking into all these different companies, all these different people that offered him this kind of stuff. And because he was on a lot at the time. And you're not normally supposed to die from natural causes in your early 60s. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. They're investigating the doctor that worked with him, the doctor that cleared him. There was no autopsy done. So the FBI is just getting straight into it. Sorry, Alex, I'm working on stuff. Okay. All right. I mean, and then obviously Packers had a few roster moves, a lot of interviews for head coach. I heard that Packers aren't going to do anything until the Broncos are done, which is the correct answer. We did interview Jonathan Gannon, and he stayed for 3 days, but he wasn't immediately hired like people thought he would be, so he's probably not our next DC, if I had to guess.
For some reason we lose Lou Anarumo somehow, Jonathan Gannon would probably be our next DC.
Understandable.
Because the Colts love former Eagles for some reason.
But why not, right?
If we have nothing else to talk about with our teams, then
that's all I've got.
Yeah, that's all I've got too. Let's go right into overreaction or not. We're getting towards the end of our overreaction or not season, but we're not there quite yet. We still got a couple more weeks of it. So if you're new to overreaction or not, here's basically how it goes. I will give Colton a reaction that I had this past week. He's going to tell me whether that is an overreaction or not, and give his reasoning for said opinion. And then he will give me an overreaction, and I will do the same thing. And we're just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Colton, I've given you the first turn the last couple weeks, and I want to have a turn now to go first. And I know this one isn't really going to apply that much to this week, but I am going to give it anyway. And that is, Bo Nix is a championship caliber QB.
Ooh, I'm going to go stark overreaction there. Championship caliber, I think that if you put 10 different, maybe 15 different quarterbacks on that Broncos roster, I don't care. I still think that the Broncos wind up exactly where they are. That's my opinion. Sure. Dak Prescott could be a championship caliber quarterback. Put him on the Broncos roster, right? So that's kind of where I'm sitting with this. Bo Nix definitely has the mentality to get them there, definitely has the talent to get them there, but there's so many quarterbacks that can do that, especially when they're on a stacked roster. There are not many quarterbacks in the league that are going to take you to Super Bowls just purely off of they are the quarterback of the team, right? For example, two quarterbacks that I think of, Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, consistently have been guys that have made it to championships and won championships just because they're Tom Brady and Mahomes, right? So I'm gonna go overreaction, but also not an overreaction because I think anybody could be on that roster.
I'm going to say the same as you, but I don't know if there's necessarily 15 quarterbacks that would get them to the championship with this team. I think it's maybe closer to 5. If that.
If that.
Yeah, even that's being harsh.
I think if anybody other than Jared Stidham is playing for them this weekend, barring a few exceptions, any starting quarterback in the NFL is taking them to a championship just because of how dominant that defense is. I think you could ride the coattails of that defense and not just be terrible. What's that? What are you saying?
On Jared.
I am sleeping on Jared.
Jared Stidham.
I'm sleeping on Jared Stidham on purpose. That's not. I didn't make a mistake when I said that.
You can't do that, goalie.
Trust me, I am. I'm sleeping on Stidham. Overreaction or not, Phillip Rivers is the best coaching candidate available. Ooh.
Do you mean like remaining or like above like Halfley and Harbaugh and Stefanski?
Well, McDermott is remaining technically. Let's see. I'll go remaining.
Let's say overreaction.
Oh, boo.
I know he has some high school coaching experience, and I know he has one of the best minds in football. I gotta see that experience with those lower levels first, like the offensive coordinator role, the quarterback's coach role.
See,
before
I don't
I
think
see
so.
him as a head coach position immediately.
He's got it though. He's got what it takes. He's got it, Alex.
True.
He does. I promise you.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have what it takes. I'm just saying I want to see the experience first.
That man is
And then
44
put him
years
in the
old
head
and
coach role.
he played in the NFL at 44 years old after being on his couch for 5 years. I think that qualifies him alone to be a head coach. And can you imagine if he gets hired right away?
Him to be an offensive coordinator first.
Head coach, he's a culture setter. I'm going to say not an overreaction. 100% I'm 100% at odds with you here.
I want to see him in some lower roles first.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
It's like Trump becoming president when he hasn't had any other political experience.
He still became president.
That's true.
All right.
Okay, I'm done talking political.
All right, roll it for me. What else? Give it to me.
All right. Oh no, my dock turned off. Hold on. Stroud is not the answer in Houston.
Oh, sorry. I rolled a meme. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Poorly timed, buddy. Stroud is not the answer in Houston.
I had this same exact one. The Texans must move on from CJ Stroud now to stay in Super Bowl contentions for the next few years. Yeah, I think this is not an overreaction. I think this is very obvious that if you see how he's performed not only in the playoffs the past few years, but also how he has handled his progression. In terms of progression, there is none. He's regressed as a quarterback. And a lot of people blamed his O-line the first 2 years, but you can't do that now. You literally can't blame his O-line. His O-line was not the issue. Yeah, he got hammered, but that was never going to be the end all be all. For example, I'm going to keep bringing this up on the show, and I feel like I'm the only person who brings this up. Drake May, in both playoff appearances so far, all three? Did Drake play in 2 or 3 games so far?
2.
2. So out of the 2 games Drake May has played in, he has taken 5 sacks each and still come out on top. I'm telling you right now that it's not about taking sacks. It's about what you do when you're not taking those sacks, right? Obviously. So, yeah, I'm going to go not an overreaction, Alex.
I'm with you on everything you just said, except I really truly think that the O-line has regressed along with Stroud. You remember this past offseason they traded away Laramie Tunsil. That the O-line, I didn't think they could get worse after last year, but somehow, some way they did. And if you look at all those picks that Stroud threw, he was being pressured on every single one of those. So, yeah, they need to focus on their line a lot more. Probably a good way to spend their first round pick this year. Yeah, I don't think they should draft another quarterback right now. I think that first round pick should be used on offensive line. Maybe if they can land someone in free agency, which I don't think there's a free agent quarterback this year that's better than Stroud.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of free agent quarterbacks, I do think that there's a free agent quarterback better than Stroud. So here's my next take. Malik Willis to the Dolphins is a lock. And if that is the case, they're playoff contenders right away.
Playoff contenders right away is a gross overreaction. Um, Malik Willis can definitely make an impact in Miami, but with Tyreek Hill gone, the defense being as garbage as it is, this is going to be a multi-year experiment, especially with a head coach that's so young. That's where I stand.
Okay. Understandable. I'm going to say not
But
an
he would be a
overreaction.
good fit in Miami.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a great fit in Miami, but I don't think it's an overreaction. I think especially with the wide receivers that they've got on that roster, with the defense that they have potentially brewing with Jeff Hafley being the quarterback, I'm definitely going to have to say, Alex, head coach, sorry. But he is going to be their defensive play caller. So I'm just saying right now, Jeff Hafley will elevate this team. I guarantee you, somebody who started in D3, he's going to elevate this team. I'm convinced.
All right. All right. Mike McDaniel is the best coordinator hire.
No questions asked. That's 100% not an overreaction. He is by far, I'm glad that they got him so early. Genuinely.
I'm with you. That's no overreaction. Next one.
All right. What have I got here? The Bears will fall off next season and will need to start the cycle all over again. They were the luckiest team in NFL history this year.
Give me a break, bro. And the hating is ridiculous. My reaction was Chicago will make the Super Bowl in the next 3 years. And if management does their job, which Ryan Poles has been doing, then that is absolutely not an overreaction.
No, I'm going to say the Bears will fall off next season, and that's not an overreaction. You look at how they were able to do it, those one-score wins. There are not many teams who can keep that consistently, keep those wind up on that end of heartbreaking games. It's just not possible. The only teams that we've seen do that happen to be the Kansas City Chiefs. This is not the second coming of Mahomes. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. And you're right, I am. But there's a reason I'm wearing Josh Jacobs today. If you know, you know. So I'm going to say not an overreaction. Yeah, buddy.
Hater.
You're right. I am a
Hater.
hater. It's my job. It's a rivalry.
Yeah, biased. Um, this next one, if you don't say what I think you should say, then we're gonna have problems because this is a really bad one that I saw on the internet, and I just wanted to share it because this is gross. Josh Allen got Sean McDermott fired.
Um, I mean, that's obviously an overreaction, right? There's some truth to it, right? Did you watch the press conference of the owner?
With Tony
The
Pagula, yeah, I did.
Yeah, where he walks in, he's like, "Man, I saw Josh's face and I knew it was time to change." So I'm gonna say overreaction, but from the owner's perspective, that's exactly why it happened.
Um, I am gonna say that's a gross overreaction. And if Terry is blaming Sean for the outcome of that game, he needs to watch it again.
Literally, I know. And if anybody is blaming Josh, I think they need to watch that game again too, right?
Yeah.
Alex, I'm gonna bounce off of you here. The NFL officiating crews have ruined more games than it has saved, and it's time to clean house, train players to be refs.
That's not an overreaction, actually. Is it? See, you're kind of cooking with that new rule, actually. I, I don't know how to put it, but that's just a way better program.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. Is make if you make players refs, and then I've seen people say that the refs should do press conferences, which would be, yeah, hold them accountable, give them crap. Of course, referee press conferences would go so hard. There's no accountability for the refs. Alex, I know the other week I was explaining to you how the NFL referees union basically has a chokehold on the NFL, right? And you were learning that all for the first time. Ah, dude, it genuinely, the NFL refs have ruined games more than once. And the inconsistencies at calls really, really, really is damaging. My last take, Alex, that I'll give you is going to kind of build off of that, but keep this thought in mind.
We'll do. We'll do. Robert Saleh will be successful in Tennessee.
Absolutely not. He's a defensive head coach. That is a complete overreaction. He cannot set a culture. He can't keep a locker room. He will not be successful because Cam Ward can't do it. And the thing is that incompetent ownership, yeah, he goes from the Jets and then comes right back. No, it's going to be continued incompetence. I am getting a FaceTime. Okay. Never mind. We're good. I was getting a FaceTime. Now I'm not. You're good.
FaceTiming you, trying to make you so popular right now.
I have no idea. I've caught two since the show started. All right, go for it, dude.
Risk.
Spam risk.
I am gonna dare say that's not an overreaction. If and you put it earlier, Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. The Titans are prime examples of a team that need defensive players right now, and they are going to spend every last draft pick on defense. You saw the way Ruben Bain played when we played the national championship, when we broadcasted the national championship.
Okay.
And you are distracting me right now, Coley. Stop it. Stop it. You are distracting me right now. This is more distracting than Gabe spinning around.
Go ahead.
Don't
Give it to me.
Don't play that game with me, Coley. But if you saw the way Ruben Bain played for Miami in the national championship and all season, if he can get his hands on a guy like Ruben Bain and other great defensive assets in the coming years, watch out. And especially if Cam Ward can progress, because I did see a lot of progression towards the end of the year. Watch out. Watch out.
There aren't many great defensive head coaches in the NFL anymore, Alex. It's true. And actually most of them are gone as of this year, right? It's just not something that happens anymore. And you're going to say, "Well, you said 10 minutes ago that Jeff Halfley's going to be a playoff contender." Whoever you are at home, I heard you. I can hear you through the screen. And you know what? You might be right. You might be right. I might just be a contrarian to be a contrarian. All right, Alex.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's talk positivity. Let's talk some positivity, right? You
Okay.
hit a positive one, I'll hit a positive one. The Dallas Cowboys have an extremely bright future.
Overreaction. Come on. We all know this is a criminal overreaction. And even if it looks like it on paper, which it does, I get where you're coming from with this. Jerry Jones will find a way to screw this up. We all know it.
Okay, yes. But hear me out. Their division after this year is attainable, right? It's going to become more competitive, but it's attainable. Schottenheimer is the most underrated coach in the NFL with the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. You remember how I used to be a certified Dak hater? Dak changed my mind this year. He is the most underrated quarterback in the entire NFL. He genuinely can go out there. What he did in the first 10 weeks of the season was nothing short of remarkable given what he had. If Jerry Jones was smart, he would give a long-term extension to George Pickens, right? That makes sense. He looked phenomenal. And those two defensive picks those two first round picks that they have, obviously they traded one away to go out and get Quentin Williams, but like that defense, they just need a few guys. I mean, Ezeraku was fantastic for them this year, right? You and I talked to just length about how well Donovan Ezeraku was doing on the edge, setting the edge, getting sacks, making disruptions. I mean, they found the closest thing that you can do to replace Micah Parsons. They did it in literally one draft. So I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say absolutely not an overreaction, Alex, because the Cowboys literally not only on paper but in film can do it. And it's just a matter of getting the right pieces and getting probably another year in this culture in place.
I'm with you, Colton, on that's what's required to get there, but I'm saying Jerry Jones won't do it.
See, Jerry Jones isn't as senile as people give him credit for. Cowboys have such a bad reputation because of how Jerry Jones runs them, but I think Jerry Jones is a lot smarter than people give him credit for. I love to hate on the Cowboys. Cowboys are my least favorite team in the NFL most of the time. Now it's the Bears because actually they give me something to hate now. But yeah, no, this is I don't know, dude. It just feels like the Cowboys will be in the playoffs next year to me. That's what I'm thinking.
But they will not make the NFC Championship.
See, but I think they might.
See, actually, my last take, I was gonna say this marks year number 30 that they are not in. They are not in it this late, so the Cowboys need to be sold.
I'm glad that was your last take. Okay. Well, Alex, my last take is a little long. I wrote like a paragraph here. Ready? Strap in, buddy.
All right.
NFL owners have lost their minds firing coaches and keeping the wrong GMs. The league should move to an elected system like the Packers have become, a league owned by the fans, governed by the fans.
Not an overreaction, but that will never happen.
Can you imagine though?
would-
Or look at the sustained success that the Packers have by going as a publicly traded company. Then there's a stake, right? And then people have a say in the organization who are not owners, who are rich people who have tempers, right? Look at Mike McDaniels was going to be the head coach, but then temper tantrum by some rich guy. McDermott was going to be the head
not about
coach.
success for the owners.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What I'm saying is that these temper tantrums are what is holding the NFL back from being the best of best leagues, right? It's already the best league, but to take the next step up, make the NFL publicly traded and make it accountable to the people who actually watch.
You're very right, and that's how it should be, but unfortunately, it will never happen.
Just a thought.
All right. I have a couple more for my last one. Well, I'll know which one I'll do. Matthew Stafford still has 2 to 3 more elite years.
I'm going to say that's not an overreaction. I think that he definitely has proven that he can do it, right?
Yeah.
I think the fact that he's played himself in MVP contention. However, this would be the year for him to go out if he wins a Super Bowl. This would be the one where he rides off into the sunset.
Yeah, because it would already be his second one with the Rams.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I'm thinking. Is this would be the one for him to leave?
This is not an overreaction for me either. You hit the nail on the head pretty well. All right. Well, that concludes overreaction or not, and we now turn it over to our weekly stories, which we don't have many this week. Definitely not as many as we normally do. The season's starting to kind of wind down. But up first for our weekly stories, we want to talk about how Indiana has won the national championship, and we here at Toxic Couch had a successful broadcast in being able to watch them.
Heck yeah, we did. That went so fantastic. I've got clips, if you'll allow me to play some.
I will absolutely allow you.
I would say prepare your eardrums to just get absolutely destroyed because we didn't turn the limiters down on our mics. Let's see. This was pretty fun. Let's start here. And don't change that view. Toxic Couch TV, your weekly show with Glee.
Colton
And Alex Harmony. Toxic Couch TV. Oh, that was fun. That was at halftime.
folks.
Stay tuned, folks. Let's see. You want to see how much time Alex and I spend together? We are in sync for a lot of this game.
And it is blocked! Touchdown! Touchdown, Indiana! Isaiah Jones!
Unbelievable! They dial up the pressure, bring it right up the middle, and get the special teams play that they were needing. Who cares if Fernando Mendoza is on the field when the Hoosiers can dial it up on all the phases of the ball?
Mikal Kamara, one of the centerpieces of the defense, was the one who blocked it. Isaiah Jones is the one who manages to get in for the touchdown. Absolutely huge change of events. Colton, is this where Indiana starts to turn on the Jets?
It definitely feels like it. The Indiana faithful in Miami are going crazy right now, as they should be. Mark Cuban is there, going crazy right now.
Did not know Mark Cuban was an Indiana fan. Radicich's extra point is up and it is doinked in.
It doinked in. You never see that. Indiana, even when their mistakes are made, they're doing them right.
Yeah.
Wow, what
Absolute chaos.
What a change of
Absolute
events.
cinema.
Wow. What a change of events in this amazing national championship game that is definitely not derived of any entertainment for sure. Hoosiers Nation has to be excited. That was good. We dialed it up on that one. Lots of energy.
Totally.
Last
We have
one?
one more towards the end.
Last one?
Back to throw this one deep again, and it's intercepted! Jamari Sharp comes up with the football, and that's going to end the game with 44 seconds remaining!
Oh, Carson Beck throws an interception, throws it into double coverage. He just didn't see him.
Oh, no, there's a flag!
I'm assuming it comes after the play, right? I'm assuming that will be an unsportsmanlike conduct on who intercepted it.
That was Jamari Sharp.
I would assume that would be on Jamari Sharp, unless they want to call a pass interference that would keep the game going.
They are going to call it an unsportsmanlike. So that gives Indiana the ball, and what they can do now is just kneel it out. 2 kneel downs, and that will wrap up the college football season.
I don't care. If you just won the national championship for your team, you deserve to get as many unsportsmanlike penalties as you want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this will be completely overlooked. And just, wow. What a season for the Indiana Hoosiers, man.
Carson Beck throws that ball to the pylon, and that's a touch. As I was saying, Carson Beck would have thrown that ball to the pylon. That's a touchdown game ender right there.
Yeah, but thank goodness he didn't do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank goodness he just yeeted it up in the air instead.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Anyway, yeah, that was a whole lot of fun, and if you missed that broadcast, don't worry. We have one more broadcast together as a Toxic Couch family this football season, and that is Super Bowl 60. Colton, want to talk a little bit more about that?
Heck yeah. So if you guys are just joining us for the first time, first season with Toxic Couch TV, you should go over on the Super Bowl. You should go and watch that. And if you don't want to watch that and just want to watch the Super Bowl, you should definitely double back and watch what we do for the Super Bowl. This year is going to be bigger, better than ever. It's going to be a multi-hour stream, multi-hour extravaganza, just a celebration of football, celebration of the year. We're going to have fans of a bunch of different teams. We're going to have interviews ready for you. We're going to have special premieres for new shows that are coming out on Toxic Couch. I mean, this year's Super Bowl is definitely going to be the best one yet. I would say, in our 5 years of doing it.
And it's going to be a lot of fun because we still have no idea who's actually going to take it.
I think I have a pretty good guess, but we can talk about that later in the show.
I think at this point I do as well, but you never know. That's what I said last year.
You never know. All right.
So, yeah, let's move on from this and let's talk about something a little darker, and that is the injury bug, who is evil and is back once again for more legs. Particularly the leg of Bo Nix, who decided to run towards the middle of the field and then kneel, which resulted in a broken ankle.
Brutal.
So he is done.
I see a lot of people saying that Bo Nix isn't actually hurt. They just want Jared Stidham to play because it's the only backup quarterbacks or mediocre quarterbacks can beat the New England Patriots in the playoffs.
He's not wrong. Mark Sanchez?
Let's see.
No, Eli is not mediocre. Come on. Eli.
So many people online have been saying Eli's mediocre, dude. So many people have been saying that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely, it hurts both of these teams. We ran a video, I think it went out on Toxic Couch, from late night, that said, is it a foregone conclusion that the Patriots have won the AFC Championship? And Obviously, we'll have to wait. We'll talk about it. We don't want to spoil the show, but we're pretty confident that it's going to be one way more than the other.
You guys are a little more confident than I am. I still think the Broncos can keep it close.
Yeah, I definitely think they could keep it close. But all right, moving on. Yikes.
Yeah, this was a development out of Buffalo that obviously Sean McDermott is now out in Buffalo, has been interviewing with a bunch of teams. Definitely the best head coach left on the head
Philip
coach
Rivers
market.
is insane. Watch him. Ready? Meow.
This was us watching
It
Philip
is the year
Rivers.
of our Lord 2025, and we are watching Philip Rivers hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor.
I figured
And
that
to make
clip would be appropriate.
2026 as crazy as it can possibly get, we're still not done talking about Philip Rivers because it is reported by Rap Sheet that he is interviewing for that Bills head coaching job, as we mentioned in Overreaction or Not.
Yeah, super excited for that being a possibility, right? I said it in Overreaction or Not. I think Phil Rivers possibly could even long term be considered an upgrade here.
No, it definitely could. He's definitely got it in terms of schemes and IQ. It'll definitely be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Yep. All right. Hang on, keeping her moving. If it
We're
wants to
done
work, there it
talking
goes.
head coach firings. Let's go to head coach hirings. 4 head coaches have been hired in the span since our last Toxic Couch Thursday episode. Kevin Stefanski is now with the Atlanta Falcons. Not Raheem. Robert Saleh is with the Tennessee Titans. Jeff Hafley with the Miami Dolphins. And Jesse Minter with the Baltimore Ravens. What do we think about these hirings, Coley?
I think Minter and Hafley will be long-term hires. I do not think Stefanski and Salah will work out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Stefanski will work out with entering a quarterback controversy, literally.
Literally.
Jesse Minter is in the best situation out of all of these people. For sure.
Yeah, he just
for
has
sure,
to
for
find
sure.
he just has to find an offensive coordinator, and then it's fine.
Yeah. Salah, I think, could have a shot. I think Hafley will start a rebuild with the Dolphins, so he'll be on not a tight leash whatsoever. But
Agreed.
I think I think he has a high chance of ultimately getting something done with the Dolphins, though.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on this, Alex.
So yeah, those are the hires from this week. Let's move on to Aaron Rodgers has reportedly told the Pittsburgh Steelers organization that he would only be willing to come back to the Steelers next season if they went out and hired Mike McCarthy to be the next head coach. Now, this is a crazy development. Obviously, you remember McCarthy won Super Bowl 45 with Aaron Rodgers, and it's just Aaron Rodgers demanding another one of those reunions. And it's going to be interesting to watch. We all know how Rodgers played under McCarthy's scheme. All those deep balls he threw, all those Hail Marys, 2 of which back to back in the playoffs. Wow. If he comes back to coach this Pittsburgh Steelers team, we could be seeing the old Aaron Rodgers again.
Very possible, but there are Steelers fans saying that they will riot and never watch a Steelers game again. Hang on. Let me see if I can get my grandpa, who is just like certified Yinzer, on the phone. Let me see if I can call him. Hang on. Let's cold call him. Let me see.
What's up?
Grandpa, we're recording the show right now, but I have a question for you because we're talking about Mike McCarthy to the Steelers, and you're the only Steelers fan that I know.
Okay.
What do we think? What there are Steelers fans saying that they would boycott the Steelers if that happened.
I think it to me it's 50-50.
That's a better.
There's a bunch that would like it because he's a Pittsburgh guy. But I think for the most part, the Steeler fans want a young guy, new blood. Nothing recycled.
I really thought that when you guys interviewed Halfley, you were going to get him. That felt like that was a match made in heaven, but understandable. Man, would they do it just to appease Aaron Rodgers to come back?
It's possible. It's possible. But a lot of the press in Pittsburgh is saying that's just delaying the inevitable because they still don't have a quarterback long term. So that they would get who I think would be better offensively than what we've had lately. But I don't know if Aaron still has enough to carry the team.
I agree with you. I definitely think that he should ride off into the sunset, especially after that pick.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
well, thank you. I appreciated that. That'll be some good insight. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, love you, Grandpa. Thank you. Bye.
I'm
That was a
sorry
good answer.
I wasn't fully able to pay attention. I had a scare that I thought our stream crashed. Can you
It didn't.
summarize once again what he said?
He was saying that he is 50-50 because McCarthy is a Yinzer. He is a guy who is from Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh guy. McCarthy would lose his mind if that was the case, right? So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, for me personally, I like the hire. I don't think he's somebody who can be there for 20 years, though, like the past few coaches have been. And now that all the good defensive head coaches or candidates that are all young guys are getting swallowed up, he's a little worried. He said it's just delaying the inevitable if McCarthy's basically hired.
It's definitely something to watch out for. That's all I'll say about it. For the further, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a really funny graphic made about it, but
Hang on. Is it still on there? I can get to it. Oh, there it is.
there we go. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize you had a graphic for it.
Cute little family reunion for the two of
Little
them.
family reunion. I love it.
And sadly, now we got to move on because the Green Bay Packers just cut the wrong defensive back. Instead, thought it would be a good idea to cut Trayvon Diggs instead of Keyshawn Nixon. Colton, you're the expert on the Packers. So
I am just waiting for the roster moves to start for the Packers. Oh, hello there. Hang on. Oh, come here. Here she is. Hello. Say hello.
hi, Boba.
Let's see. Oh, there she goes. What is she about to do? This makes me worried that she's going
Is
to
she about to do it? Is she about to do it again?
I think she might. Oh, no. She's checked out. Okay, bye. Love you. So
Bye,
glad that we're
Boba.
friends. She came over to say hi. That's weird. What are you doing over here? She's literally sitting on the chair next to me. She laid down. Hi, baby. Okay, let's talk about the Packers a little bit. Yeah, I think that the thought is keep Keyshawn Nixon because he's a good return man, right? Keep Keyshawn Nixon for all of the special teams attributes that he can bring, but definitely don't keep him on as a defensive back. At bare minimum, you need to keep him for depth. If we're not going cornerback in the first round this year, I will riot.
Yeah,
That's my
there's
thought
no
process.
reason for them really not to. They really have no huge other position to need.
I'm trying to get Boba as close to a Boba cam as I can get. Look at her. She's literally just sitting here. Okay. Bye, Boba.
Bye, Boba.
Except not really. She's just hanging out right here. She'll probably hang out here the whole time. Toxic couch mascot. All right. Moving on.
And finally, we got one more hire that we didn't mention before. Well, we did in overreaction or not, but the Chargers strike like lightning with this new offensive coordinator hire. And
Darn right,
that's
dude.
an understatement.
Yeah, I definitely hope that the injuries. I hope that they can find a defensive coordinator that'll supplement the loss that they took. But at OC, this is you can't get better than this, especially for Justin Herbert.
No, absolutely. We've seen the work that he's been able to do with Tua. If he can do that with him, he can absolutely do it with Herbert.
Alex,
My headphones are... Yes.
what are you saying about your headphones?
My headphones were a little messed up. Sorry about that.
Are you ready for my favorite segment?
Yes, I am.
This sucks, brought to you by the Toxic Couch. Alex, when I brought this up during our pre-production meeting before we went on air, you were seemingly confused as to what I was talking about. And that's crazy
news to me.
See, that's crazy to me, given that you're somebody who breaks news to me all the time. So allow me to break news to you. The 49ers have a power plant / treatment facility next to their stadium, right next to Levi Stadium and right next to their practice field. Now, they have tested this dozens of times since the 49ers have suffered so many injuries. And now, Niners leadership, per ESPN, is looking into everything, including the electrical substation. People are saying that the 49ers are basically microwaving their players. And that is why Achilles are being torn, ACLs are being torn. That is why you are seeing these devastating injuries, especially when they play at their home turf, because they practice there all week right next to this substation. Now, why would I do this as my This Sucks rant? Because the 49ers are a franchise that despite the fact that they have beaten the Packers on multiple occasions, I really enjoy watching. I think that Brock Purdy is a super enjoyable quarterback. I think Kyle Shanahan's probably one of, if not the best coach in the entire NFL. I think George Kittle and everything that he has done for the tight end position, I mean, he's transformed the tight end position, right? Literally. Him and Kelsey have led the foundation. Watching Kittle get hurt like 3 times this year sucks. The fact that we are talking about environmental factors where people are now saying, oh, well, we have to look into this, that the 49ers are getting that injured that it can't possibly be their training staff. It has to be an electrical substation. That is insane to me. Insane. And it sucks. It really sucks. And obviously, you know, when I was thinking about my This Sucks rant, there's one reason why I chose to do this. That's because my old roommate, Storm, I saw him on campus this week. Storm, this is for you. I love you. He goes, so is this going to be on Toxic Couch later? What you and I are talking about right now? And if you know Storm, you know that was a perfect impression of him. I refuse. And I said, yes, I will put this on Toxic Couch this week because it's worth talking about. Can you imagine you being so injured that they are blaming the infrastructure around you? Which I believe it to be true, by the way. I'm one of those people who desperately believes in those things. So the 49ers being injured and now having to investigate the substation, that's what sucks.
Well, thank you for enlightening me on what sucks. This is something I've never thought about, and yeah, this is probably the main culprit. All right, looks like it's my turn for This Sucks.
I didn't see this graphic before the show.
So on your screen right now, on the left side of your screen, you see a picture of Terry Pagula. What are you smiling about, Mr. Terry Pagula? Your team is in shambles. And the public relations and media side of this organization is not doing well right now. And it is all your fault. So you mentioned the press conferences with the Bills earlier, right, Colton? And you
Yes.
saw how he looked at Josh Allen and said, "Oh, Sean had to go because of that look I saw on his face." And remember how I said, and I am going to continue to stand with this, if you sit and watch that game and you blame Sean McDermott for the outcome of that game, you are a terrible owner and have no place doing what you do. You know what else you have no place doing what you do? Is when you start talking about how it was not your choice to draft a certain player, like the guy you see on the right side of your screen, Keon Coleman. Now, since this press conference, Coleman has actually, according to my sources, requested a trade from Buffalo. And yeah, as if the wide receiver room didn't struggle enough even with him on the squad. So, yeah, so now you're in a place where you can't even build up your team because your culture is just so fried. And it is literally all ownership's fault right now. This is why I genuinely believe Josh Allen will never win a Super Bowl. Not with Buffalo, at least. And that, my friends, is what sucks.
Nice one. That was a good one, Alex. I really liked that one. They deserve it this week. All right. Well, give it to me, Alex. What's next?
All right, it is time for our feature presentation of Toxic Couch, as we call it, and that is our game picks. I'm pretty sure technically the AFC Championship comes first, but hey, we can do the NFC Championship first. Or we can
I
do
switched
either
it.
one.
You're
Doesn't matter.
welcome.
Doesn't matter. Um, yeah, we can start with AFC. The New England Patriots taking on the Denver Broncos. This is going to be more exciting of a game than people think in my eyes. The Patriots have been good with Drake May, but here's a stat from the divisional round against Houston. The Pats defense forced 5 turnovers against Houston, but off those turnovers, they were only able to score 7 points. They're they're going to have to do way better than that against a Denver defense that has gotten them definitely this far. So they're really going to have to bring their offensive A game, which I think they can do, but it's going to happen if they want a chance against Jarrett Stidham and the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Alex. You touched on it, but you didn't really touch on why why the Patriots struggled against Houston. Number one, that defense is immaculate. Denver's defense is not going to be as good, but I will argue that Benito may be better than Will Anderson Jr., very possibly. And Will Campbell, rookie, has really struggled this season in the postseason, especially against those really premier guys. Not his fault. I don't think that should be, if you're a Patriots fan, say, oh, it's Will Campbell's fault. It's really not. The 5 sacks, he is learning to go up against those really, really premier talents. And what I would have to guess is that as a rookie, he's probably got some really big tells that he's gonna get his hand swatted down, or he's giving inside leverage. You know, one of those things that these defensive guys who are very experienced are gonna look at. I still think that Will Campbell's an absolute dog, and I think that this offensive line is still very, very good. I just think that they lack the experience, right? Patriots are what feels like such a young team. It would be really sad to me, though, if the Patriots of this year become the Commanders of last year. I think that the Patriots need to set themselves up for long-term success. Alex, in terms of who I'm picking this game, though, I am going to pick the Patriots. I just can't see Jared Stidham leading the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl. I cannot see that happening.
Coley, we've seen crazier things. If
Yeah.
Nick Foles can do it, then so can Jarrett Stidham. But
Nick
you know
Foles
me.
played a lot of, but Alex, the difference between Jared Stidham and Nick Foles is Nick Foles played a lot of that postseason.
True. He played all of it, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jared Stidham hasn't started a game in years, and he's played in four full games in his entire career. And then you have to go against the New England Patriots, who have a fantastic defense. Definitely top 8 in the league, for sure.
I'm picking the Patriots, but all I'm saying is crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. It's not going to happen this year. All right.
I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a very close game.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am going to give New England the nod. All right, we go to definitely the more exciting game, which is between the Rams and the Seahawks.
Alex, there is no possible chance in my mind that the Rams can go into Seattle and play around the way that they did with the Bears and with the Panthers and not get their absolute teeth kicked in. Okay, they have to go in there. They have to be decisive. I can't lie to you. There is not a single outcome I see where the Rams win this football game. And let me tell you, I am rooting. What my analyst brain says is Seattle, 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 Seattle. What my heart says is Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, go win a Super Bowl for me. Like when Bing Bong is fading away, take her to the moon for me. That's how I feel. Is I want Matthew Stafford to take Devontae Adams to the moon for me, because I love Devontae. I will always love Devontae. I watched him, as a kid growing up. I want him to win, but there is not a single. I just can't see it happening. Even without Charbonnet, they still have Kenneth Walker, who popped off. Sam Darnold doesn't have to lift a finger to win this game. I don't know.
I'm with you, Coley. I think Matthew Stafford can make a difference in this, but I just think their defense, Seattle's, is just unmatched right now.
Literally.
Go
ahead.
There's just no way. You're looking at arguably one of the best defenses of all time. We already compared them to the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
Like,
I don't see it.
That big of a deal.
I literally don't see it. I don't see a world where the Super Bowl is not Seahawks Patriots. I just can't see it. I literally can't see it happen.
Yeah, I don't see it either, honestly.
Well, that's it. That's the weekend.
All
Man.
right.
Well,
So
I
that
do,
wraps
Alex. Ooh, hang on.
Yes.
I do want to look back and see what our brackets looked like going into championship weekend versus what they actually turned out to be, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So here's mine. You could see that I've got a little bit of a different outcome. I still, the only difference that happened in my bracket really was that the Packers lost. I don't think that the Niners would have beat the Rams. If I'm being honest, looking back at this, I think that Seattle still goes to the Super Bowl, though, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. Alex, this one's yours. And you have the Rams going to the bowl.
This one didn't turn out terribly. I know I went 1 for 3 overall in the divisional round, which not great, not great. But the NFC side didn't turn out terrible. It's the AFC side I'm really kind of worried about.
Well, let's look at what actually has happened so far. Obviously, the Chicago Bears take down the Packers, host another playoff game. The Rams are scrappy enough to hang in there with the Panthers, of all people. Eagles get sent home early in embarrassing fashion. Seahawks are waiting to host the 49ers, which I should have put the Seahawks down at the bottom. I'm sorry I didn't. Seahawks blow them out of the water. Rams Bears is like a generationally good game. And then this week, I'm hoping this game will be one of the best of the playoffs. I hope. But like I said, I think that Seattle has the ability to blow them out of the water. Now my AFC, also not too bad. I went 100% in the wild card. And the only difference, which really came down to a few crucial calls, was the Broncos going, right? So I'm actually only off by one game. Same kind of in the NFC side. I feel pretty good about my bracket this year, and then I've got the Patriots going.
Mm-hmm.
Alex.
All right. Oh no. This 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 did not turn out particularly well. Um I wasn't wrong to say that the Jaguars were hot. I that game was definitely going to be close in my eyes.
And it
Like
was.
if the Bills if the Bills won, like if the Jaguars won, sorry. That could have went either way. Um I did not think Stroud would just disappear the way that he did. Like, I thought there was no way any playoff QB could throw 4 picks in one game, but apparently I was wrong.
That happened literally 3 times last year in the NFC. It happened with Darnold, it happened with with Goff, and with Love. Literally, 3 quarterbacks did it last year.
But at that time, I thought Stroud was more proven than the 2024 version of those guys.
I tell me why you took T-Law going to the bowl.
Because he was the hot hand. Like, he had the most touchdowns in the NFL in the second half of the season. The receivers were really, really clicking, and the defense was starting to click towards the end as well. I thought the Jaguars were in prime position.
Okay. So here's how it actually went. Like I said, I'm only off by one pick. I really thought that New England would wind up hosting this last game, but it didn't happen. I still stand by my picks too. Here was my Super Bowl pick, which seems like it's very possible. I do think that if Seattle does go to the Super Bowl against New England or against Denver, I think Seattle wins no matter what. I think Seattle. I am willing to put money on Seattle this year. Actually, if I were in Illinois right now, I would go on my app and I would go churn some real money for Seattle. I forgot we did this. This was your Super Bowl pick.
Oh, I can't. I still can't believe I picked the Jaguars. I just, yeah, just go ahead and skip this.
Well, that does it for our show. I don't have anything else unless Alex does.
I do. That wraps up this episode of Toxic Couch TV. But before we go, just a big thank you once again to our sponsor, Heinrich's Harmony. offering Christ-centered piano, guitar, and voice lessons, plus worship band and ensemble opportunities for musicians of all levels. If you're looking for lessons that inspire both your talent and your faith, visit stepstograce.com and scroll down to Heinrich's Harmony, where faith and music come together in perfect harmony.
Nice job on that one. Well done. Man, we've got stuff that we can preview for the next few weeks, right? Super Bowl coverage,
Yeah.
late night coverage Sunday night. Late night, gosh, we're growing fast. We have a bunch of people on late night this week. We should actually, I believe, have the full crew for late night. Tanner texted me today. He said he's all good for late night. So, man, we're drilling it right now for sure. Let's see, Super Bowl coverage, late night coverage. Make sure you watch the Super Bowl because we're gonna keep hounding on it for the next few weeks. Oh, and then obviously the regular show, Toxic Couch Thursdays. Last episode next week, or last episode for the regular
We
season.
should have 3 more episodes.
Theoretically, in theory.
Pro Bowl week, Super Bowl week, and then season recap.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we've got 3 episodes of this show left, but it's winding down very quickly. If you're not on Twitch, or if you are on Twitch, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. We've activated gift subs now. We actually had our first gift sub today. I was testing it. Alex, I accidentally gifted a sub, and it went to you of all people. So, yay, you're subscribed to your own channel now. Good for you. But that'll be nice. Let's see, what else do I have? If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Enjoy the show. If you enjoy more, keep watching, please. We have so much content coming your way. The Super Bowl, we're really going to premiere a whole bunch. Let's see. Let's shout out a few of the other channels that we have. Let's go with TCTV Off the Couch. If you have not watched our first video on there yet, it's an absolute banger. Ask Alex. He loved it.
It's awesome.
Go and watch that. If you want a Toxic Couch hoodie, Alex, stand up. Give him a good stunt. Stunt on him. That's right. If you want your own Toxic Couch hoodie, DM us on Instagram. And to do that, you have to follow us on Instagram first. But if you want your own Toxic Couch hoodie, DM us on Instagram. We'll make sure we hook you up with one. Alex, do you have anything?
I got nothing left.
Me neither.
I'm watching the stream right now. I'm glitching a lot.
You are. But that's why I record it here and upload it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for us. We'll see you all on the flippity flop. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Toxic Couch TV, your weekly show with Glee. Colton and Alex, Harmony. Toxic Couch TV. Toxic Couch TV. Stay tuned, folks.